Learning intention. I can identify the kinds of communities people live in and some things to think about during the lesson. I can locate New York State on a map, which is right here. You can actually see New York State in red on the map. Communities can be identified as urban, rural, or suburban. Urban is New York City, rural is like the country, and suburban would be like the neighborhood we live in, are communities that have special events, people, traditions, practices, and ideas. Features of urban, rural, and suburban communities are different. Migration patterns exist in all communities, meaning I might move from the city to, like from Manhattan, maybe to Staten Island, and from Staten Island, maybe to New Jersey. This is a busy New York street. It is the middle of Times Square on a busy day, and it has all of the jumbotrons and electronics and lights all shining. Large and small communities. So, does your community have houses with yards, or do you live in where buildings are more close together? Urban areas. Communities can be different sizes. New York City is a large city. Another name for a city is an urban area. Many people live and work in urban areas. Cars, buses, and trucks fill the streets. Buildings are close together in cities. People can walk to stores. They can hear concerts and go to plays. Children can play in city parks. A suburban street in Radburn, New Jersey. It looks very similar to streets in Mariners Harbor in Staten Island. So this is a very similar community to where we live. The suburbs, that would be us. A suburb is a smaller community near a city. Homes in suburbs are farther apart than buildings in cities. Most homes have yards. People have to drive to stores and other places. Radburn, New Jersey is a suburb near New York City. Not as many people live in Radburn as in New York City. Reading check. Cause and effect. What is one effect of places being farther apart in Radburn? So I want you to right now pause the video and I want you to stop and jot your idea and throw it into our Google Doc and just put down under cause and effect what is an effect it might have on somebody if you live further apart. Rural areas. Outside of cities and suburbs are rural areas. Rural places are places in the country with more open space than cities and suburbs. Sharon Springs is a rural area in New York State. It has fewer stores, schools, and homes than New York City or Radburn. Most farms are in rural areas. Farmers need a lot of land to grow crops. Many people in rural areas sell what they grow or make to people in other communities. A farm in Sharon Springs, New York. So again, it's just in New York State, but it's not in New York City. It is outside of New York City. Moving between communities, cities, suburbs, and farms. Many have different reasons for moving to a community. People who want to live in a large home near a city might move to a suburb. Those who want open space and a large garden might move to a rural area. People who enjoy being around other people and going to concerts might move on to an urban area. So again, with this, the reading check, I want you to pause the video. And at the bottom of the Google Doc, I want you to write down details of what areas have the most farms. And think about what you know and who might live near a farm. Why might you live near a farm when you jot your answer down? Then you're going to read this question, pause the video, and I want you to jot down how might people in Radburn get to New York City. So if New York City is right here, this dot, and Radburn, New Jersey is over here at this dot, how might they get there? And think about how people in Staten Island travel into Manhattan. the lesson review. All these questions I want you to answer independently in the Google Doc. It says what to know. What kinds of communities do people live in? And we can think of a few right off the top of our head when we go back to the first page. Vocabulary. Write a sentence that tells 2 ways that an urban area is different from a suburb. So how is New York City different from that area in New Jersey? Cause and effect. What might cause an urban area to have more things to do than in a rural area? So we know in an urban area, many people live there. A rural area, not so many. So why do more events take place in an urban area? An art activity. For extra credit, draw pictures of things you might find in a rural area that you would not find in a city or a suburb. If you can, take a picture of it, attach it to the document for extra credit. That is all for the read, and then I am going to insert this into the Google document so you can have the lesson read to you.